Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the experts from 15 of the 17 member countries of the Sahel region is around the table. For the international scene, Mohammed bin Salman received by Emmanuel Macron. Welcome to our newsroom. The workshop on the third meeting of the steering committee of the studies of the financial mechanisms of the climate investment plan for the Sahel region, which was held from July 26 to 27 at Sheraton Hotel, ended yesterday. Indeed, the third steering committee gathered in Djibouti experts of the Green Climate Fund from 15 out of the 17 members country: Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Gambia, Guinea, Mali, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Sudan, and Chad. In accordance with the roadmap of the studies of the financial mechanisms of the climate investment plan for the Sahel region, the general objective of this third meeting of the steering committee is to contribute to the implementation of the roadmap of the process of operationalizations of the CLC.
Continent. And current discussion we are having here is the third of similar meetings that was held. The first one was held in Casablanca, Morocco, and the second one was held at N'Djamena in Chad. While this is the third, and this very third meeting, we are here to review the missions, the activities of a Sahel Climate Fund, a fund that can support the activities of Sahelian countries on how to reverse the impacts of climate change, how to reduce its effects, how to have a sustainable mechanism that can support countries to leverage on their climate action. And here we are here right now reviewing the final outcomes so that it can be suitable for each and every country in the Sahel. And we are hoping it will be beneficial to us, and it will be like a kind of African united front in reversing the impacts of climate change in the Sahel.
For her part, the representative of the environment said that this meeting is an essential step in the finalization of the studies of financial mechanisms of the climate investment plan for the Sahel regions, which constitute the Sahel Climate Fund. The first group of Djibouti pilgrims left the Holy Land heading for Djibouti, the capital, after performing Hajj and Umrah. The member of the Hajj delegation took all necessary measures to facilitate the safe return of the pilgrims to the country. Before their departures from the Holy Land, the Djiboutian pilgrims performed the farewell circumambulation. It should be noted that the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia pays special attention to the service of pilgrims. It is also indicated that the kingdom has mobilized all its human and material potentials and energies in order to carry out the work of the Hajj and to serve the pilgrims who come to it from all parts. The camera of the National Society of Radio Television captured the impressions and reactions of the Djiboutian pilgrims. The pilgrims expressed their thanks and gratitude to God, who has destined them to perform the obligatory Hajj. On the other hand, the pilgrims expressed their thanks to the Hajj organizing committee set up by the Ministry of Muslim Affairs, Culture and Waqf, which they said has done everything possible to ensure that their pilgrimage activity take place under the best conditions. The woman parliamentarian of the Dekel region is in collaboration with the UNFD granted this Wednesday, July 27, 2022, clothing donation to the population of Sankal, the most affected by the drought in the Dekel region. It was in the morning that the delegation composed of the Member of Parliament Nouria Waberi and Ms. Aisha Muhammad Habib, the Deputy Prefect Muhammad Yusuf Ali, went to this locality for the delivery of these donations. This donation made up of blanket, maize, and clothes for children from 1 to 2 years old, and for women comes as a supplement to the government's effort to the families of these localities stricken by the drought. In this regard, more than 115 families have benefited from this closing gesture. The association ADIR organized a great evening of awareness against drug addiction. This event was attended by local authorities, UNFPA representative of the civil society, and young people from Tujura. This event is part of the awareness programs against 5 dangerous social phenomena: gender-based violence, including unwanted pregnancy, the HIV/AIDS, and addictions in the through theater, poems, music, and projections of animated video. We have raised awareness on the danger of the above mentioned phenomena and practices. We would like first of all to express our gratitude and thanks to the prefect of the region of Tujura, Hassan Dabeli Ahmed, and to the vice president of the regional council, Abdul Qadir Umar Abdul Qadir. The president of the Adwir Association said the representative of the UNFPA and the prefect and all the partners who took part in this event. We particularly thanked all the youth of the Tujura region who have actively participated in this program since the beginning. For her part, the representative of the UNFPA, Fatuma Ali Shire, said that the youth are the strength of our country, and if the youth is not spared from these rivalries, we will have no future in this country. So UNFPA puts a great effort in the framework of awareness and support of youth in awareness actions. For his part, the vice president of the regional council, Abdul Umar Abdul Qadir, said that today the issues of drug it's not a taboo subject. That was a long time ago, especially in school. Now, how much the people in charges of the school want to stop these problems, because drug, as well, all know have other repercussions on the youth. The prefect of Tujura, Hassan Dabeli Ahmed, said in his speech that this day is not only about drugs but about universal health. Every doctor informs us about this subject, and we also accompany him in high schools and schools. If there are young people who are involved in drug practices, for that it is necessary this very fierce fight that is necessary to carry out. It is a fight of a long run. This of sensitization it is a society that develops. In the framework of the fight against the illicit traffic of smuggled goods of all kinds, the military BS, in close collaboration with the police detachment of Ali Sabih and the customs brigade of Ali Sabih, intercept a large quantity of bag of smuggled cat. The goods seized on this occasion were 1,000 kilograms of cat that the smugglers wanted to bring to Ali Sabih. The operation continues. Colonel Roble Mohammed Abdallah of the Army BS urges the population to remain vigilant and to collaborate with the forces present in their respective sectors. According to the quantity was transmitted to the Custom Brigade and destroyed on the spot in the presence of the head of the Ali Sabih Custom Brigade, Muhammad Mumin Hassan. Let us recall that smuggling harms the economy of our country. The acting prefect of the region of Ali Sabih, Muhammad Abbas, praised the close collaboration of the elements of the customs and the national police forces of Ali Sabih who participate in these operations against smuggling. In the summer season, heavy rain drenched the hinterland of Tujura region, particularly the sub-prefectures of Dora. After the rain and the floods in the area of the Andaba plain and in the Balho area near the Ethiopian borders, these rains are welcome for the nomadic families in these areas who will be relieved for a while of their acute this thirst problem. Access to waters will be improved thanks to these rains for nomadic families and their livestock who are forced to travel dozens of kilometers to find water. Thanks to this rain, the climate will be more clement in the sub-prefecture of Torah. Grasses and plants will grow back to allow a better feeding of the livestock, the main sources of food for the population in these remote areas in the hinterland of the region of Tujura. As part of the CHAN 2022 championship, the national football team faced off against Burundi in a return match. These two matches saw the Shark qualify for the CHAN by beating Burundi by 4-2 on penalties. Here is the complete senior A national team. The two coaches, Bikila and Hassan Kako, have done everything possible to ensure that this game is successful. For his part, the president of the Football Federation, Suleiman Hassan Waberi, congratulated on behalf of the great families of football, the steering committee of the Djiboutian Football Federation, and his own name, our national team that faces the first rounds of the CHAN 2023 against Burundi. For his part, the Secretary of State in charge of sport, Hassan Mohamed Kamil, welcomed the success of the Sharks and congratulated all players and the staff, wishing the best for the rest of the competition. For the international scene, Mohammed bin Salman received by Emmanuel Macron, President of France. Emmanuel Macron welcomed Thursday evening the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, invited for a working dinner at the Elysee Palace in Paris. Emmanuel Macron warmly greeted his host, dressed in traditional Saudi attire, and whose first visit to Europe was less than 4 years ago. This meeting signs the rehabilitations of the facto leaders of the kingdom less than 2 weeks after the visit of the U.S. President Joe Biden in Saudi Arabia, which has established the return of the Crown Prince, nicknamed MBS, on the international scene. In a context of war in Ukraine and soaring energy prices, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman greets President Joe Biden by shaking his fist after arriving at Salam Palace in Jeddah in response to the anger of human rights activists. The French presidency said Thursday that Macron would address the issue of human rights, as he does every time with Mohammed bin Salman. He will address this issue in a general way, but he will take the opportunity to talk about individual cases. And to close up this edition, Africa towards strengthening economic cooperation between Gambia and Morocco, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Gambia, Mamadou Tangara, met with his counterpart from Morocco, Nasser Bourita, during meetings held in Marrakech, Morocco, on the sidelines of the 14th U.S.-Africa Business Summit. On the sidelines of his high-level meetings, Africa 24 spoke with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambian Abroad of the Republic of Gambia, Mamadou Tangara, about ties with Morocco and Africa's exchange with the world. The Gambian Minister of Foreign Affairs has, during an interview granted to Africa 24 in Marrakech, emphasized the prospect of African countries in the development of cooperation with Morocco in connection with the various crises that are hindrance to the economies. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.